So let's proceed now with the statement of comprehensive income. Uh, ang statement of comprehensive income, it is also called as statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Tinatawag din natin yung statement of financial performance. In layman term, that is the income statement. Okay? Sa mga business persons kasi, mas alam nila to as income statement. But for us, based on revised conceptual framework, that is the name of that particular financial statement. So, here, an entity shall present all items of income and expenses recognized in a period. So, ang statement of comprehensive income, it contains the nominal accounts like revenue and expenses. Okay? So, ang presentation natin, it could be a single statement or two statements. So, obviously naman, when we say single statement lang siya, okay? So, there are no presentation pa separately kasi magkasama na yung statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income sa isang presentation. But meron naman tayong two presentation. Ano yung two presentation na yan? Ang ating statement of comprehensive income, hatiin natin sa dalawang presentation. Una, statement displaying the profit or loss section only. So, ayun tinatawag nating statement of profit or loss. Na alam nating income statement, di ba? So, statement of profit or loss pertains to the income and expenses related to operations. Then, second statement naman, for example, sa second statement naman, diba may nakuha tayong net income sa statement of profit or loss. Sa second statement natin, mag-start yan sa beginning na net income from profit or loss. Then, i-display na natin yung components ng other comprehensive income. Marami tayong components ng other comprehensive income na stated naman ng ating PS1. Okay? But, most likely, itong other comprehensive income, it pertains to the income and expenses not related to the operations, not related to the profit or loss. Okay, but they still must be presented as part of income and expenses. So that's why they are included in statement of comprehensive income. So, ngayon sa two statement, present mo yung present mo yung statement of profit or loss, then present mo din yung other comprehensive income, that would comprise your statement of comprehensive income. Sa dulo niyan, yung total, that is the statement of comprehensive income. Or minsan ang tawag na doon sa dulo, lalagay mo dyan as description or caption is total comprehensive income under two statements. Okay? So, kumbaga ang presentation niya pwedeng single statement or two statements. Okay, so meron din tayong tinatawag guys na extraordinary items. So, pag sinabi extraordinary items, these are items that are not ordinarily presented in our financial statements. Kaya nga siya extraordinary. Hindi talaga natin siya nakikita. But under some special instances or other extra event, it arises. Okay? So, ang tawag natin sa mga items na extraordinary items. So, based on PS1, they prohibit the presentation of any items of income or expenses as extraordinary items. So, hindi yan pinapayagan ng ating PS1. Okay? So, let's go back naman dun sa ano ba yung mga other comprehensive income components. Diba kanina nabanggit natin meron tayong two statement wherein we presented the two separate statement. Una is yung statement of profit or loss. Pangalawa, yung statement of other comprehensive income. Sa statement of other comprehensive income, these are the line items there. So, meron tayong changes in revaluation surplus, then unrealized gain and losses on investment in FBOCI or fair value at other comprehensive income. So, possibly hindi pa ako naiintindihan ng mga first year, but FBOCI pertains to the investment, okay, under financial instrument. So, yung paano natin siya evaluate. So, meron tayong FBTPL, FBOCI, FB at amortized cost. So, kapag daw ang unrealized, ang investment ay recorded as FBOCI, yung unrealized gains and losses doon, okay, yung changes dong cost and market value from beginning and ending ay component ng ating statement of other comprehensive income. So, pwede yung equity instrument or debt instrument. Pag sinabing equity instrument, equity siya. Okay, shares siya. Shares. Okay, pag B naman, debt instrument, mga bonds payable yan, okay, na recorded under FBOCI. Then letter C naman, meron tayong tinatawag na mga remeasurements of the net defined benefit liability or asset. So, kapag may remeasurement sa ating defined benefit assets or liability, they are part of the other comprehensive income. Meron din tayong gains and losses arising from translating the financial statement of foreign operation. So, kapag daw nagkakaroon ng gains and losses, foreign exchange, gain and loss, okay, so they are presented sa ating other comprehensive income. Then, lastly, effective portion of gains and losses on the hedging instrument in the cash flow hedge. So, etong letter E, medyo complicated siya, but kapag meron tayong cash flow hedge, ang hedge, ibig sabihin lang yan, mga forwards position, futures positions, and options contract. Kapag may mga gains and losses doon, okay, ipipresent natin siya sa ating other comprehensive income. Guys, for the first year, it is legalistic. Hindi nyo kailangan maintindihan agad-agad ngayon kung ano yung mga items na yan. Okay, but at least you're familiar with the components of the other comprehensive income. But for the senior students, okay, I assume that you really have the idea of what are these particular items and how will we reclassify them. Are we allowed to reclassify them or not? Okay, so if they are allowed to be reclassified, hence they will be included in our additional statement of financial position. Okay, so yung letter C, okay, sorry, ang required lang dyan or pwede nating i-reclassify, okay, ay yung letter B, yung debt instrument under FBOCI, yung foreign exchange gain or loss, and yung gain or loss sa ating forward, future, and options positions. Okay? So, ayun lang. So, reclassification adjustments are amounts reclassified to profit or loss in the current period that were recognized in other comprehensive income in the current or previous periods. So, correction lang guys. So, etong reclassification pala na pinapertain dito is yung reclassification wherein previously, other comprehensive income sila. Ngayon, magiging part na siya ng statement of profit or loss. So, that is reclassification in the point of view ng ating statement of comprehensive income. So, ang ating other comprehensive income, okay, statement of other comprehensive income, it could be presented net of tax or gross of tax. Pag sinabing net of tax, syempre, binawas na yung tax. Pag gross of tax, hindi pa. Okay? So, pwedeng ganun yung presentation natin with the OCI. Okay? Again, this is the component of our total comprehensive income, ha? So, meron una siyang statement of profit or loss, then meron siyang statement of comprehensive income. This is based on the presentation of the two statements. So, ngayon, alam naman natin sa income statement, it could have expenses and revenue. Ngayon, based sa PS1, it gives us, okay, the information on the presentation of expenses. Sa presentation ng ating expenses, it could be based on nature of expense method or function of expense method. So, pag sinabing nature of expense, we are presenting yung list ng ng expenses natin based on its nature. Like, nature nila ay kumbaga lahat ng depreciation expense presented as depreciation expense. Lahat ng salaries expense presented as salaries expense. Let's say, may salaries tayo para sa supervisor, salaries para sa employees, salaries para sa manager and owners. Okay? Ang presentation niya ay isa lang. Lahat sila based on nature. Ang presentation sa ating statement of profit or loss, salaries and wages lang. Okay? So, kumbaga, ayun yung way paano natin present ang nature of expense. Hindi natin tinitingnan kung para ba kayo supervisor, para ba kayo manager. Pinipresent na natin siya as one expense. Okay? Based on its nature. Pangalawa naman ay based on function. Okay? So, function of expense method naman. Diyan na yung nagkakaroon tayo ng selling and delivery, okay, or selling and transportation costs. Meron din tayong general and administrative. Okay? So, sa selling expenses, diyan papasok lahat ng mga expenses natin na may kinalaman sa pagbebenta. Like, meron tayong, uh, for example, may equipment tayo, yung van. Yung equipment na yan, ginagamit para ma-deliver yung goods. Yung pag-delivery ng goods, it pertains to the selling expenses. Okay, diba? So, yung presentation ng expense na yan, or ng particular equipment na yan, is underselling. Kapag naman yung equipment na yan, ginagamit natin for general and administrative function, meaning, ginagamit sa office, ginagamit to produce this particular materials na kailangan natin, okay, or inventory, pe-present natin yung expenses na mag-a-arise dyan under general and administrative. Okay, so ano napapansin nyo? Yung presentation sa under function of expense based on their function, if they are for selling or if they are for general and administrative purposes. Okay, so if the company is using or classifying its expenses by function, ang sinabi ng standard, the company shall disclose additional information on the nature of expenses. So if let's say nagpe-present nga sila based on function, let's say income statement nila, may nakalagay doon selling, may doon nakalagay general and administrative expenses. Sa notes to financial statement, kailangan pa rin natin i-disclose yung additional information about naman sa mga nature of expenses. Okay? That is what the PS1 saying, ha? But, at least naintindihan natin ano yung pinagkaiba ng nature of expense and function of expense. Sir, at the sa practice, ano ba yung normal na pinapresent dyan? Depende pa rin. Okay? But ako kasi ang commonly na experience ko, okay, sa local company to, sa local Philippine setup, based tayo lagi sa function of expense. But ako, nung nasa yung nagpe-present na, yung nagwo-work na ako, yung client ko is international company. Ang normal na presentation naman na is nature of expense. Okay, but again, it depends on the company on how would they present their expense. But it could be nature of expense or it could be function of expense. Okay? So, may mga particular items din na explain si PS1. So, the PS1 expressly says about the disclosure of dividends. So, dividends declared by an entity are disclosed in either notes or statement of changes in equity. So, sir, ano ba yung dividends? Sa point of view kasi ng corporation, guys, meron silang, kumbaga, tinatawag na net income na i-distribute, okay, or distributable income na i-distribute sa ating shareholders. Ngayon, ang tawag doon ay dividends. So, pag sinabing dividends declared, the company is declaring dividend ngayon. Ibig sabihin, the moment they declare dividends, ang tawag doon, yung X date doon, yung dividends declared at the X date should be recognized as income. Okay? Kapag the moment na nag-declare ng dividend si owner sa shareholders, kumbaga, income ng shareholders So, magre-recognize tayo ng income sa ating statement of capital. Okay? Or statement of changes in equity. So, ngayon, ang presentation ng dividends declared, pwedeng i-present sa ating notes o kaya sa ating capital statement. Again, sa local company sa atin sa Philippines, usually, kapag may dividends declared, pinapresent natin yan sa ating notes. But, kapag sa mga foreign company naman, mostly of their presentation and dividends, nakalagay sa kanilang statement of changes in equity. Okay? So, but still depending, okay, on the company, they could present it either on notes to financial statement or on their capital statement. Okay, so, since I'm mentioning the notes, notes to financial statement, ano nga ba yung mga nilalaman ng ating notes to financial statement? So, na-mention ko na to kanina. So, but let's just elaborate what's the PS1 saying about the order or of presentation of disclosure in the notes to financial statement. So, naglalaman yan ng statement of compliance with PFRS. Okay? So, kumbaga kapag nagawa kayo ng statement of financial ng notes to financial statement, syempre, meron dapat information yan about the company, but these are the 4 minimum items it should contain. Una, statement of compliance with PFRS. Dapat may nakalagay doon na the company is really complying with the standards. Okay? So, i-state nyo doon yung mga standards na finalo nila and the description and on how they apply that particular standard. Then, makikita din natin dyan sa ating notes of financial statement yung mga summary ng significant accounting policies applied by the company or client. Then, number 3, supporting information for the items presented in the other financial statement. So, etong number 3, ay yung breakdown ng mga present natin sa ating income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, and capital statement. Ilalagay natin siya sa ating news to financial statement pa rin, yung mga breakdown yan. Okay, or supporting information. And number 4, other required disclosure. Yung sinabi ko nga, like, yung mga events like COVID-19, mga losses, na nakasuhan si company, nagkaroon ng loss. Okay, yung mga other instances na yun na significant, presented as part of other disclosures. Okay, ito yung order niyan. Ilalagay mo muna dyan yung mga statement of compliance with PFRS, yung mga summary of significant accounting policies applied, yung supporting information or pertaining to the breakdown of mga items na present natin sa other financial statements natin. Then lastly, the other disclosures. Okay, so overall, this is how the PAS 1 is saying about the base of our presentation. Okay, so that's it for the application and illustrative example. I'll be sending it on other video. Okay, thank you guys.